Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Parkscope Unprofessional Podcast Hour. It's 2017. I'm stretching. I've had a good break.
We're back, baby.
Exactly. Yeah. We took a good month break. That felt well. We needed that more than anything. Joining me tonight.
And now we're back.
Yeah, exactly. Joining me tonight.
Better than ever.
Yeah, I don't know about better than ever, but we're trying. Is Nick.
Face fact.
Nick,
your opinions don't matter.
Nick, how are you doing? How was your holidays?
It was merry and happy.
That's good.
In that order.
Those two words are synonymous.
Exactly. How was yours?
Good. Pretty well. It was a different one than usual, but good. Can't complain. Yeah. Although it's been weird weather here. We had freezing rain on Monday, and then, or was it Tuesday? We had freezing rain, and then now it's like 50 degrees outside at night for some odd reason.
The high on Monday here was 40, and then by Saturday it's going to be 77. So
yeah, it was freezing rain on Monday or Tuesday, and now it's...
Oh, wait.
No, Monday it was 50... No, what was it yesterday?
I think Monday was like 37, excuse me. Yesterday was like 40-something.
Yeah. Now it's 53 outside, and it's January in Ohio, so huzzah. Okay, so let's get into this real quick. This is going to be a quick episode, maybe. Who knows? I don't know right now. Lane was supposed to join us, but he couldn't make it. He was going to do a whole trip report with the marathon, which would have carried this over a little bit more, and all that fun stuff. Okay, Nick, do you want to buy booze at the Magic Kingdom?
Yes.
You do?
Sure, whatever.
Yeah, I do too. It sounds delicious, except it seems like the menus are real bad.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they're just starting with this rollout, so it's going to be the generic stuff that they have everywhere. So
yeah, so they have like maybe 3 or 4 options per restaurant, very limited, really like weirdly specific. Yeah, I'm not a. It's just a weird rollout. Doesn't seem like it's really caught on. So it's real bizarre.
I think it's a testing of the waters to make sure there's not too much kickback, and if it goes over, you'll see it continue to expand slowly but surely, and eventually it'll be like every other park. But I mean, you're talking I think a couple of years before that happens.
See the beer carts everywhere.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to pull up a menu. They have menus.
But I think it'll happen.
Excuse me, say that again.
I said it'll happen. It'll just be a while, I think. The question is, will they do this at Disneyland?
They sort of already do.
Well, the club doesn't count. But I mean, will they have the full rollout?
I don't know. Got me. Let's see.
But whatever. It's harmless. It's good. No problems to me. The only time I've ever seen any real issues with people getting drunk in the Disney parks is at Food and Wine, and I don't think that that's harder to police than any other time. So
true.
It's easier to walk up to a cart and get a little beer at Food and Wine than if you're drunk trying to get something from somewhere else. So
yeah, it's sit down restaurants only. It's not like they're opening bars or anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So. Did you see? You didn't see the Christmas Day parade, did you?
No, I was
Walt
driving
Disney
up to
World
my
Christmas
parents.
Day parade. Yeah, so
They
did an Avatar preview real quick where they kind of went around the land. They kind of showed some stuff. They showed Joe Rohde pointing at plants and people saying grandiose things like this is going to be the most experienced thing ever. Immersive experience ever, and all sorts of fantastic things that will never live up to their expectations or what they're hyping it up to be. Also, what they showed was some interior of the Flight of Passage attraction and a little bit of the boat ride. It looked pretty good. The problem being that reportedly the theaters are nowhere near done for Flight of Passage, which looked very clear from the footage, and also reportedly the river boat that they were showing going around was being pushed by people.
Full, yeah. I read that and I saw the picture of the theater, so I was just like, oh, okay, about what I expected.
Yeah, so there's rumors of delays and issues. But I mean, like, that's what Diagon Alley had and still open July 8th. I mean, that ride wasn't ready to go for a very long time. Pretty much right until, like, May almost.
I mean, Avatar's going to be fun. It's going to open up. It's going to be there. It's going to be a thing. It's going to be nice. It's going to be pretty. It's going to be great. There's nothing to, I mean, it'll happen and it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun.
So, reportedly that Disney's planning, but has not solidified plans for a May press event.
Yeah, I heard about that too. Like Labor Day weekend or Memorial Day weekend, excuse me.
I don't think it's Memorial Day weekend, but it's like sometime in May. They're going to be doing a press event for the media.
Well, I think I heard that on the e-ticket report, so you know how those guys are,
Yeah,
that could have go either way. So
yeah, whenever they release an episode. And also, I imagine that's also when Rivers of Light would debut. I mean, it makes sense. Oh. Okay, so we had a small technical issue, which I'm just going to somewhat leave in, but block out like the 30 seconds of me trying to figure out if Nick responded to me or not. So we're just going to move on. The Disneyland announced an updated version of their Fast Pass system. It's called MaxiPass. This combines their PhotoPass, a digital version of FastPass, and includes Toy Story Midway Mania and the Matterhorn, who are now going to get FastPass for everyone. So this is going to be a little different. What's going to happen is, unlike FastPass Plus, the normal FastPass is going to stay. Instead, what you do is you spend $10 on the Disneyland app, and you get to book FastPasses and manage them on your phone, and you can book them pretty much anywhere around the park. So instead of running around, you can just like pick the one you want and you're golden. What's weird is that it's $10. That's real bizarre. And also it is all barcode based. So there's no actual RFID technology involved. It's a really bizarre thing. Everyone in your party needs it. It's $10. What do you think, Nick?
Whatever. I mean, I'm afraid that it's gonna, lead to them charging for FastPass full time. But I mean, if it's a better implementation than what we have or if it's gonna implement better than what was implemented in Orlando with FastPass Plus, then it's fine. I think that the price point's a little low to make it like where it's really something that is.
Well, reportedly the $10 is an introductory offer.
Well, we'll see. But yeah. I still think that with the amount of AP holders that you have out in California, even for an introductory rate, that still is low.
Yeah,
I just.
But it
if
doesn't.
You have that many people, go ahead.
No, you can go. Go.
I was just gonna say, if you have that many people going to the parks routinely, as they have, over there with their pass holder people, that they're gonna, I'll pay the introductory. You know what I mean?
But it's only for one day.
Yeah, sure. But still.
It's for one day.
Well, they're gonna make back all their infrastructure costs for that one day. Then
maybe. Who knows?
I think they will.
I mean, that's the thing with FastPass Plus is like they tried to justify, all this new technology and all this tracking stuff that they actually never ended up using. Remember that? Remember how they were going to track people and they were going to give you offers and they could track your kid around the park? Remember that?
Yeah. Nobody would ever get lost again.
Yeah, that never happened. And that should be remembered back when FastPass was like under $1 billion, not getting close to $2 billion. Yeah, it's weird. It just tells me that FastPass, the justification for upgrading a FastPass infrastructure to a digital one is not justified in any business case. Someone has to pay for it, and that's the guests. The real question I also have is, do you think sooner or later that $10 is going to get wrapped right into if you have a hotel on property or not? So if you're staying at the Disneyland Hotel or the Grand Californian, you get that for free.
Maybe. I could well with their small hotel, the small number of hotels that they have out in Anaheim, I could see them doing that just to increase booking as another thing, and then you have the option, kind of like Universal does with their top 3 hotels. But I don't know. We'll see. But then if they do that there, the question is, what are they going to do in Orlando? Because it's not going to stop. Once they start charging for it at one, they're going to start charging for it at the other.
I don't think they'll charge at Disney World, but I think they'll start offering like you can hold more than 3.
I think, yeah. Well, that's what I figure. It's just going to be like something like that, like one of these upcharge things where you can, get extra.
Maybe it's such a different model. I don't know how they can apply it to Disney World. Because FastPass Plus and this MaxiPass, keep saying MaxiPass, damn Freud. Sigh. They're totally different things, and they don't really equate. And I don't know how you could do that. So I don't know. What's interesting though is that they're putting Toy Story Midway Mania and the Matterhorn on FastPass for everyone. Which is bizarre because the Matterhorn is a notorious shit show for their whole entire queue management system. And Toy Story Midway Mania already has a pretty slow line. So that's really kind of bizarre why they're doing that. Yeah, especially the Matterhorn. It just doesn't make sense.
I don't know, because they both work fine without FastPass out there.
Why would you want to Matterhorn the FastPass the Matterhorn anyways? It beats you up too much.
I mean, so now obviously, I don't have the chance to read everything online like some people do during their day at their job, because my job's a little bit different.
Is that a stab?
Well, no, I'm just saying I'm by my computer, but I'm not online like in the fan community. Like I just can't be on it like that.
Yes.
As a teacher, it just doesn't work like that. But so is this like a one-time use thing, or is it timed like it's been being?
It's exactly like FastPass.
Like the old FastPass.
Old FastPass, except now you can book it on your phone instead of going to a kiosk, and you can hold one at a time, just like old FastPass, in every way. Okay. So you walk into the park. You have to be in the park. You can't be outside the park. You have to be inside the park. You get inside the park. You open up the app. Then you can pick one FastPass you can get immediately.
Well,
and then but you still have to wait. So you don't have to like walk to Space Mountain. You can still get it like right there. So for example, if you're you're right at opening and the park opens and everyone's running to Space Mountain to get a fast pass, you can already have one and be heading towards Indiana Jones or something like that. Or the submarine voyage.
Makes sense. I mean, it'll be useful. People will pay for it. If I was there for one day at Disneyland, I might be willing to pay for it. If I was there for just a couple of days, I might pay the $10 extra for it, just because it would save you from having to run around to get the fast passes, and maybe you get in a couple of more rides. But and Disneyland has a lot to do. There's a lot more rides than in Florida. Mm-hmm. So, but whatever. We'll see. It's a big what if, and we'll see if the Californians embrace it. I think that it will be. I think it'll be all right. I think that it will be around for a while.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Who knows? Okay, moving on.
Let the fates decide.
Yeah. Moving on. We have Star Wars Galactic Nights. This is going to be taking. So this is a weird one. Galactic Nights, but it's only one night. So,
what is the date?
It is April 14th.
See, that makes complete sense then. They're doing it right during the middle of Star Wars Celebration, which is in Orlando this year.
Yeah.
They're just cashing in. It's an opportunity for them to cash in.
So they are not...
And it's at night after Celebration. celebration's over. So
Yeah. So
that's all they're doing.
they're not doing Star Wars weekends. So the usual Star Wars weekends where they have
they haven't.
where they have the Sith and dip and all that stupid stuff. Was it Star Wars
They didn't do that
weekends?
last year, though, Joe. No, that was the Festival of the Force thing that they did last year.
when
They did not do
they
Star
had
Wars
that,
weekends
when they had
last
the
year.
Sith and chips. Oh.
Mm.
Yeah,
Which they still have the dark side chicken waffles and all that at Backlog Express. Still, it's still there.
When was the last Star Wars weekends? 2014 then? Or 2013?
Yeah,
2014? Yeah.
14, I believe.
14?
I believe they haven't done weekends in a few years.
Okay. Well, they haven't done it. They didn't do it last year, but they're no longer doing it. Instead, they're replacing what essentially it was with this one-time event. It is $130.
They're not replacing Star Wars weekends with a one-time event. They are offering an event during Star Wars Celebration.
But there's no Star Wars weekends. And this covers a lot of the stuff Star Wars weekends used to have.
But this all was offered during the day.
Yeah, I know.
So that's why I'm saying they're offering a 5-hour event for the people who are at Star Wars Celebration during the day, the 13th through the 16th, to come one night and be able to experience the Star Wars things at Disney's Hollywood Studios
But
for that one night.
Okay, fine. But
That's what they're doing. And people are going to pay for it. They're basically cashing in on the fact that Celebration is back in
I understand
Orlando
that.
this year.
But there's no more Star Wars weekends, and a lot of
Weekends
the
hasn't
stuff,
been a thing for a while.
But
I
like last year.
Weekends wasn't there last year.
That's not a while. That's a year.
Yeah, once it's gone, it's gone.
I know, but they could say it was the Seasons of the Force or whatever. What I'm trying to point is that a lot of the things offered,
And they probably will.
a lot of things provided for Galactic Nights, like that, are what used to be offered during Star Wars weekends.
No, it's not. It's what's offered right now at Hollywood Studios. They don't have the thing where like all the characters come up and do the dancing to the modern songs. That was at Star Wars weekends.
Yeah, but they have cast and crew.
They don't have the parade. That was at Star Wars weekends. They don't have the autograph session. They don't have the special merch stuff that was about what weekends was about. It's not. I see this as we're offering you what we have during the day at Disney's Hollywood Studios for Star Wars, for you people who are coming into town for Star Wars Celebration, to be able to come over one night, pay a one fee, and get to experience the stuff that Disney's doing right now for Star Wars. That's what it is.
Okay. If that's the story you want to stick to.
That's what I'm sticking with.
Okay. Well, it's even worse deal than Star Wars weekends or whatever they want to offer, because it's $130 now, which is more than a one-day ticket. It has fewer attractions available, and by fewer attractions, I mean they're not offering Rock and Roller Coaster. Which is funny, because remember when they did the Star Wars version of Rock and Roller Coaster last year?
Mm-hmm.
They could have done that, but they're not. So, screw you guys. I mean, they got Star Tours, they have Toy Story Midway Mania, they have the Great Movie Ride, they have Tower of Terror, they have Muppet Vision, and they have Voyage of the Little Mermaid. The only thing they're not doing is pretty much the Frozen show and Indiana Jones.
And Rock and Roller Coaster.
And Rock and Roller Coaster, which they could have had the Star Wars layover with. Ugh.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay for it. It's not for me. It's not for most people listening to this podcast. So, whatever.
I don't think it's for anyone, but that's just besides the point. So
you know who it's for. It's for the Star Wars diehards. They're going to come into town.
Then they buy a one-day ticket instead of...
They're not going to spend the day whenever Celebrations is going on. Because they're going to be at Celebration during the day.
People spend usually more than... I mean, it's not like they can only be there for the length of time of Celebration.
Yeah, but there's some people who are going to come in for a long weekend just to do Star Wars Celebration that are not going to stay for a whole week. Because you're not talking about people who are doing this for a Disney vacation. They're coming into town for Star Wars Celebration. And there is a certain amount of people who are just coming into town for Star Wars Celebration. And that's who Disney is selling this to.
Yeah,
those people.
I think that's not a big market, personally.
I think it's going to be a bigger market than what you would think it will be. It's going to be sold out. It's going to be done. And we're not going to be going to it anyway. So it's not for me and you, Joe. It's for other people. If they're going to have fun at it, let them go have fun at it and pay Disney $130 to make up for some Shanghai cost whenever they built the little cafe thing that's in between Tomorrowland and Fantasyland that looks like a dump.
You mean the what's going to be the Toy Story area?
Yeah, the temporary cafe thing.
Yeah. Oy. So, let's move on. So SeaWorld had an eventful week or two here. The first one, SeaWorld San Diego. They were always been kind of in trouble with the state of California. They finally retired their orca shows. They no longer will be doing orca shows or breeding. Breeding we kind of knew about beforehand. But yeah, so they ended the orca shows. Also, I think it's Telecom. Is that right?
Talcum.
Yeah,
Talcum.
talcum, like talcum powder.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
It's Tilikum.
Yeah, Tilcum or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, died.
Yeah, the famous whale from Blackfish that did all those terrible things and all that stuff, passed away. I don't know, last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Just last week, wasn't it?
I don't know. All these weeks have been blended together. There was some, I don't know, the response was weird. Some people were like, eh. Some people were like, they shouldn't get rid of the whale shows. Some people are like, they need to get rid of the whale shows. I think they need to get rid of the whale shows. It's not what people want. I don't think... I mean, they haven't been adding rides. They need to add rides. They have a bad image. You gotta do what you gotta do. So, yeah.
I don't carry the way. I enjoyed the whale shows.
I did too.
So whatever.
I mean, I really enjoyed the whale shows whenever I went to SeaWorld Ohio. Like, I loved them a lot, but I mean, hey, we're moving on now. I mean, people also love walkthroughs and all sorts of other stuff that really doesn't, people don't like that much anymore. So,
I like walkthroughs.
Well, general public.
Okay. General public's a terrible gauge of things.
Yeah, they buy Star Wars Galactic Nights tickets. Ugh.
Well, I would say something else, but I'm not going to say it. I'll tell you later.
Don't tell me later. I don't want to know. Okay, so let's end off with some Universal stuff. So Orlando Informer broke this. We made some notes about this when we visited in October, and I heard some stuff about this, but, good for Orlando Informer. They broke this with multiple backups of the information that there will be a Harry Potter nighttime show coming to Universal Studios Hollywood and Islands of Adventure. It's basically going to be a projection show, similar to the show featured on the castle during the opening at Hollywood. So I'm not really sure exactly what's going to be with the show, if they expanded it, if it's going to be the same thing, if there's going to be a set show schedule, if it's just going to happen whenever. You got me. But there will be a nighttime show. They'll be using projection effects. If it's anything like what was at Hollywood, it'll be super cool. At Orlando, they got rid of a lot of the trees on the bridge between Jurassic Park and Hogsmeade. They got rid of a lot of trees. And all those trees open up the area so it can now be viewed from the bridge. And viewed, I mean the castle for the projection show. So, Nick, what are your thoughts?
Cool. Let's do it. Yeah, let's go for it. Do it. They need something at Islands. I mean, and anything Harry Potter's going to keep people in the park. So this will do what Cinespec never did. This will keep people.
Well, I mean, if they did Cinespec more than, like once every 5 years, They
do Cinespec more than once every 5 years. You just don't go see it when we're down there. You're like, I don't want to go see that. I'm going to go to NBC Grill Brew.
No, I've never done that. It's never.
Yeah, you have.
When we're down there, it's
normally during Horror Nights, they don't run it during Horror Nights. Yeah,
exactly.
Is when we're all down there. Whenever I go periodically throughout the year, normally it's playing.
Okay, well,
And I skip it.
Yeah,
And I like it. And I like watching it. And normally I end up skipping it.
I only remember it being one time that I knew it was playing before besides the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
So I skipped it because we had to go pick up someone from the airport. So anyway,
I've seen it like 6 or 7 times. So
holy shit, I've seen it once. You really like
it's a pretty
Morgan?
good show.
You like Morgan Freeman a lot.
It's a pretty good show. I mean, it's nothing spectacular. It doesn't come close to anything that Disney does. It's not your typical nighttime show, but I like it. You know, go stand over there, go grab you a milkshake at Mel's, find you a nice bench.
You don't have to
watch
wait.
Cinespec.
You don't have to be
It's
there
nice.
90 minutes beforehand, like Fantasmic or something. You don't need a fast
Right.
pass
You
for
can
it.
just walk up. Just walk up about 10 minutes before, get you a spot right there on the water, and watch it. It's a nice way to end your day.
Okay.
But whatever.
Man, we're so passive right now.
I'm tired.
I don't blame you. We're rocking through this episode real quick. So right after we released our last episode, Universal Studios Japan released some Nintendo concept art. It looks pretty
That's
awesome.
awesome.
It looks cool. There's Koopas. There are Yoshis. There's Mario and Luigi that are not actually in the land, but kind of in the logo.
But they're there.
They're there. There's a walk around Peach. There's a walk around Toad. There's stairs and concepts and Peach's castle and a giant thing and Bowser's castle and all sorts of cool stuff. So not much was given away. It was even more vague than the Diagon Alley concept art, but still in the similar vein of, isometric perspective overlooking the land. So that's kind of what it is. The land, actually, I forgot to mention this, is called Super Nintendo Land. So that'll be a interesting. It keeps it open, just like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter keeps it open for Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade. Super Nintendo Land can keep it open for Super Nintendo Land Mushroom Kingdom and Super Nintendo Land Hyrule or something like that.
It's all in 32 bits. It's the Super Nintendo version.
That is Nintendo. That was an 16-bit system.
Oh, was it 16 bits? Dang.
Yes.
Wow. I'm sorry I ruined my
Pretty
joke.
sure it was 16-bit. Okay. No,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a 16-bit system along with the Genesis, and then Genesis had the 32X, which made it a 32-bit system.
That's right.
And the PlayStation.
That's what I was thinking about.
And the PlayStation was also a 32-bit system. And I also want to say that the Saturn was 32 bits. And then the Jaguar was 128. No one bought it or programmed for it because the Jaguar sucked, but that's not here nor there.
Yeah, the SNES was 16 bits. I was thinking about the extension for the Genesis that bumped it up to 32 bits when I said that.
The 32X.
Yeah.
You get the 32X to put on top of the Genesis, and then you get Sonic and Knuckles, and then you put another cartridge on top of Sonic and Knuckles.
Knuckles, yep. Yup.
Tower, the great tower of Sega. And people wonder why they went under. Okay, so let's wrap this up real quick. We got a few little updates. Volcano Bay, they actually closed Wet n Wild over the break. They had fireworks and everything, and they've been moving a bunch of Wet n Wild, their fully grown palm trees over to Volcano Bay. So that's cool. They've also started some scenic work and some design work on the entryway and some of the buildings now. And it just seems like they've kind of slowed to a halt because I think they're getting the volcano finished up. That's kind of what it looks like to me. And once the volcano is finished, I think they're going to really rapidly finish this park up. There's a lot there, and there's still a lot to do, but it's a water park. You turn on the hose and you're good, right? It's not that hard, guys. It's not Gringotts or something where you need 3 months of...
You got to put baby oil on the slip and slide first, though. Then you cut on the water.
Yeah, there you go. So Volcano Bay is looking pretty nice. Heard that the drop dead date for opening is June 1st. We'll know more soon. And also Volcano Bay updates. They started hiring. There'll be 1,700 people working.
Yes, they did.
At Volcano Bay, which I believe they say is 3 times as many that were working at Wet n Wild. So I think that says something about the hours they're planning on running Volcano Bay, and also the how much bigger this place is going to be. So super pumped about that. Also, the Race Through New York through Jimmy Fallon building, they took down the walls on that puppy. You can kind of see into the gift shop, which looks nice. It's modeled after the NBC News and Today Show where they filmed that. So it looks nice. It is what it is. We always thought that area was going to look pretty nice. So, yeah, there you go. Also, it sounds like it may be getting done soon. Like, maybe this is probably going to open, like, in June, I'll be honest. But some people are like, I don't know, it could be March or May. So, March or April.
I think the store is going to open up quick.
I bet you the store will open by Celebration of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Which is like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I can see that, and then, I mean, people said, I don't know, the ride could open in March or April, but I'm thinking it's not going to open until May or June, probably late May or June. Personally.
I doubt they open it during spring break.
Or they would want it open for spring break.
Don't think you open up a new ride in the middle of that big rush.
Good evening, gentlemen.
What's up?
How's it going?
It's going well. Nick, are you there? Okay, we'll take that as a no. We're already recording, Lane.
Nice. Okay.
Lane, how was your trip?
My trip was very fun. The WDW Marathon's a very good time. The rain out made a logistical issue from the Wild World of Sports. It was a very confusing thing because everyone went back to Wild World of Sports Saturday afternoon to get their packets. Mm-hmm. And I also was trying to get my packet for the next day because they canceled a race. So many people came back, and it took probably 2.5 to 3 hours to leave that parking lot.
Oh, jeez.
So that was that. Magic Kingdom was in perfect shape. It was very pretty. Like, not a lights out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, absolutely nothing. Everything works well. All the rides look amazing. I did all the stuff you would want to do in Florida's Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
The Space Mountain, because it's that Space Mountain, and then you do your Pirates and your Country Bears and cherish them like you're your family. And we rode Big Thunder at night, and it was awesome. We stayed at a Poly DVC studio room, which was the same price as a regular Poly room, and it was awesome.
Cool.
It is a equivalent or better setup than the double Cabana Bay rooms.
Okay.
If you're trying to sleep 5.
Okay. Do they have like a partition or anything, or is it like?
So
I'm familiar with the just the regular Polynesian room from a while ago.
So yes, but they renovated some wings, and this room had 2 bathroom areas. One was a traditional shower tub, sink, toilet, and the other one was a sink and a rainforest shower.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So there wasn't 2 toilets, but there was 2 showers and effectively 2 kind of prep areas.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool. It was very nice. The rainforest shower was pretty nice. The bathrooms were pretty nice. On par with like Portofino or something else. Because sometimes those deluxe restrooms in those hotels get a little tired. Mm-hmm. Because you just, this felt so fancy in 1987. We could talk on the phone like I was doing stock trades.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fun. And then let's talk Magic Kingdom Morning Madness. Mm-hmm. Which was a big deal to my family because we're up early goers and we usually stay over there. So watching the show was a family tradition of ours, which I learned by reading Foxing on Twitter that started in 2000.
Yes.
The old Mayor Castle show. Or sorry, 2002.
Yep.
It was a post 9/11 recession thing. Mm-hmm. And that show was awesome. I loved it. I knew all the words. I always thought it was silly. It said 7 lands and more after they didn't have 7 lands. But that was a fun time.
That's why they had to retire it.
And now the new show is they open Main Street. The one day I went, it was a separate occasion, but they open it like an hour before, and that way the security pinch point is not a pinch point. They put people. I mean, it is a pinch point, but the holding pin isn't in between the check-in gate and the train station. Now all the Main Street's open, and there's a wonderful thing that white people or Americans love to do on vacation on Main Street is get you some Starbucks. So the day I went, I got some Starbucks at like 7:50 a.m., and they didn't drop ropes at going out in the various lanes till 9, and they're all on the sides of Mega Hub. Mega Hub is so big.
Yes, it is.
Man, it is big.
That is a factual statement. It is massive now.
It feels so big. I can't even imagine how many people you could put in there for a show. And I've seen shows walking around, but being in it vacant, which is another good tip about this morning thing. If you want to take castle pictures with nobody around it or Main Street pictures with nobody around it, come to this early morning stuff. Because it's vacant, and that's nice. Because people have, an hour and a half to trickle in and go through security. And if you want to be one of the first people in, you got an empty Main Street to yourself. So there were a lot of people Instagramming Roll Hard when we were there. The day I went was Tuesday, and they were doing mostly, it was 7:45, and we thought it was extra magic hours, but it was actually morning reservation hours. So they just opened it up, and everyone got to go to their princess breakfasts, or they had
see Winnie the Pooh and have
guest.
breakfast.
Yeah, or Be Our Guest was one of the big ones that we were talking to. People were going back to have breakfast there, which would be a pretty big deal and a pretty big draw if you wanted to get in there. Breakfast would be a good time to do it, and then you could be on vacant Main Street, start your day that much sooner, and get not only your characters out of the way, but you could get your quality character experiences. I did a half day at Animal Kingdom, and it was wonderful. It was real cold, or pretty cold for Orlando, so a lot of the animals were a little more active. And that's always good when you can see more animals than less animals. The race was an absolute blast. Highly recommend it.
You did the full marathon because the half was canceled.
Oh no, I did the full marathon because I had signed up for the full marathon.
Okay. Well, that too.
I signed up and trained up for the full, so I
Were you going to do the half?
I did that. No.
Okay, so you were going to do the full marathon.
I was trying to go do the full and then go during some of the sweet spot January downtime. And Tuesday really was one of the downtimes. I was looking at times from today being Wednesday, after marathon weekend. It's back to, this is off season. If you want some pure off season, you get a week and a half in September and this week. In between marathon and MLK is a good time to have legitimate downtime if you like a quieter Disney World.
Cool.
It was very cold. The race was
it looked pretty cold.
35 with a 30 mile an hour wind. That's pretty cold.
I think it was a point where it was as warm in Columbus as it was in Orlando.
But y'all didn't have wet wind.
That's true. Yeah, that'll get you.
It was the kind of thing where you're just begging for it to snow because you're like, snow is better than this nasty wind.
Well, it's like heat. You have the wet heat from Florida, or you have the Las Vegas heat,
desert heat.
Yeah, same thing. You could be freezing cold, but there's no moisture in the air.
Chill your bones the same without the moisture.
Yeah, but the moisture just freezes on you, and you feel terrible. And that's when you get all the colds and stuff. So.
Yeah. So in my opinion, and I've done almost I've done all but one Run Disney event, race weekend, and the marathon is the crown jewel, no question asked. It's the crown jewel of the Run Disney series. If you want the maximum, they had probably 30 to 50 characters out. Everything you wanted. If you wanted to wait a little bit, you could do anything. I took the picture up and I'll send it back out from Parkscope Lane, but they had old ride vehicles out for nerds. Mm-hmm. You got Jack and Sally, you got Gravediggers, you got so many improv actors. So all the Streetmosphere characters that I've ever seen were out on course, and some of them just in the middle of the road talking about construction. And I think it's funny because I like Streetmosphere or Old Adventurers Club guys, and that kind of thing is just so wonderful to see. Or you go talk to the mayor, or like, you cut in at 23 is Tower of Terror in the back of the studios. Mm-hmm. And they just had like an old 50s or old 20s, like movie stars talking in their old transatlantic accents. Mm-hmm. We're just sitting on a bench. And it was like, this is great, man. Disney paid somebody to just do improv to these stupid runners for this long. And man, it was so good. Jack Barbosa, like anything you want. And Disney World's so fun to run in before the sun comes up. That's the crown jewel of the whole series. Half marathons are doable. Half marathons are doable with a little bit of training. The full takes a little more time and effort, but Disney will give you plenty of time. If you want to take it, don't do a marathon as your first thing. Please do an entire year and get a few half marathons under your belt before you go try to do a marathon, because it will hurt you. It don't play.
Yep. Anything else from your trip?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I drove instead of flew.
Oh, that's different.
Because Atlanta got
the rain,
transportation icy issues. Hey, Nick.
Hi.
Do you have any questions for me?
Why is Lane the best person ever?
Okay, don't flatter me right now. We're talking about Disney World. Magic Kingdom was super nice. There wasn't a bulb out on Main Street, and that's awesome.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And that's an awesome thing. Anytime there's not a bulb out on Main Street and Pirates is working perfectly, you have to go, good job, Disney World. You're doing good things.
Especially Pirates working properly, which seems to be a rarer and rarer occasion.
Which Pirates in Paris is going down from now until the middle of July. Mm-hmm. Remember, I had said something and saw Bricker say something that was the last thing of their 25 years that they were touching. And their Big Thunder came out great, and I know their Pirates is going to come up that great too. Mm-hmm. So maybe for Sean's honeymoon, we can go out to Paris.
Oh, Jesus.
Where did you eat at? And you were good?
I ate quick service on the day before the race. We ended up eating at Pinocchio's, which is just fine pre-race food. And then Saturday we had afternoon via Napoli's, where you can order a half meter of pizza, and they roll it out on these big old carts. Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
I saw that.
It was so good. Cannot recommend that place enough. And I got it like 4 days before we went. I got 6 people at 3:45 in the afternoon. If you're flexible on times, you can kind of eat wherever you want at Disney World, except for just those few that you can't get into. But I feel like if you're too snobby to let us in, then I don't have to go to you either. Cinderella's Royal Table. Ohana was very full the whole time. Mm-hmm. We ended up eating Kona one day. We ate. I think that's the only sit down we had. We had no kids, just kind of adult kids and parents, and we ended up just like basically picnicking Animal Kingdom for a few hours. Oh, Animal Kingdom doesn't have any breakfast open. They have a single bakery, and that's all that's open between 9 and 11.
You're kidding
me.
It's
very hard to find.
They don't. Tusker House isn't
Starbucks?
open.
No, it was open. There was not a cart.
Yeah, but you have to have reservations.
Yes. Maybe. You might can get a Tusker House. But there wasn't a cart serving breakfast anywhere. There was one in Harambe and a Starbucks. And then you could have an ice cream or maybe a popcorn. But you couldn't get any breakfast in Dino Land. You couldn't get any breakfast in Asia.
Restaurantosaurus wasn't open?
Restaurantosaurus was not open for breakfast. Pizza Safari wasn't open for breakfast. Yeah, and we were hungry at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and you had to go to Starbucks or this one bakery cart in Harambe. However, bakery cart in Harambe was good. big cinnamon rolls, big Mickey cinnamon rolls, egg white breakfast burrito.
That's
Very good.
Bizarre. Ugh.
So, and I think even Dawa was open, but you still couldn't get food. And this was on a Monday, so it might have just been I got an off day in the off season, and it's silly to complain when things are closed when the parks hit third capacity. But then we ate. We just kind of strolled and ate everywhere we could at Animal Kingdom. Ended up sitting at the New Harambe Market for a while and just sat at picnic tables. Because when you're already in a park and you're just trying to hang out with your family anyways, just sit at picnic tables and hang out with your family. So that was good. And then I basically left before I had to eat any more food. Main Street Starbucks. What did I eat that night? Oh, we tore up some Epcot one night. That was pretty fun. We got one of our buddies. This is a pro tip. We got one of our buddies the children's Stampy passports for Epcot, and I made him log his drinks in his children's passport and get all the stamps. So my third grade teacher sister and my buddy that ran with us were running around getting stamps and putting stickers on, and we would get their drinks and hold it for them. Okay, log this. How does it taste? You did your kind of tasting notes in the children's Epcot passport. So $8 present. If you're drinking around the world, it is worth it to pick up that passport and log your stuff.
That's funny. Cute.
And then you can go back and see how your notes were, from the beginning of the afternoon versus the late.
How much more incomprehensible they turn out to be.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So that was very fun. Had a bourbon honey shot in Germany that was very good. Asahi Super Dry in some Japan. What else do we enjoy? We did the wine walk because I think that's just a new thing we have to do every time. Yeah, for $15, you get 2 4-ounce pours or something awesome.
I remember they had
places.
Remember they had the wine walk in 2010 or something, and I thought they got rid of it.
But this was it's like a Stampy passport thing, and you just go in the little department store wine things, and it's awesome. I think it's so fun, and it gets you out and it gets you trying new stuff. It's everything you want.
Yeah, Germany, Italy, and France, right?
France, correct? Yes.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in 2010, but I thought they got rid of it. I guess not. That's badass. For $15.
It might just not be advertised that.
That's possible.
Yeah, I think it's $15.
Not bad.
For 6 tasting cups. It might be more, but yeah, it was awesome. We went to Sam's. Once, and it was quite fun. Kind of seeing old friends, waiters. My parents had more fun tearing up Tambu, the upstairs bar, and the upstairs bar has pulled pork pineapple nachos, and instead of nacho chips, they're kettle cooked potato chips. Oh man, y'all!
That sounds good.
That food was good. That food was good. So there was my Disney World updates. I just wanted to call in and tell you a little quick of it. At Parkscope Lane, love everybody, hate everything. Y'all have a good night.
You're leaving?
Yeah, I gotta go, man. It's bedtime.
Okay, see you later.
I agree.
Okay, Nick.
Good night, friends.
Good night. Nick, where can we find you at?
It's at Parkscope Nick on Twitter.
There you go. You can find me at Parkscope Joe. You can find all of us at Parkscope on Twitter. You find us at parkscope.net. Believe it or not, we have a few articles up. Jeff put a new 30 attractions Disney never built. This time it's the Museum of the Weird and a whole history of Disneyland. And also, Alan's been updating his hidden attraction series, and also posted a thing on kind of the kind of like a breakdown of theme park fandom. It's an interesting, different kind of article. Go check it out. It's real good. But yeah, that's about it. Nick, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool. Well, we'll see you guys later. And do you want to lead us out, Nick?
Love everybody, hate everything, Kungaloosh.
There we go.